Yep, we're going there. We are going there. Before we begin, we do have to do the one political correct move by giving everyone the opportunity that is easily triggered by this conversation to go ahead and leave now. Let me go ahead and clearly state for the record, I don't give a damn what you identify by, whatever. Everybody deserves the right to be called whatever it is that they want to be called. But things are getting out of hand. They really are with this whole pronouns thing. And if I guess the wrong pronouns out of the 8 billion that exist now, I am now automatically transphobic, homophobic, non-binary phobic, queer phobic, blah, blah, blah. First of all, it seems that y'all are so good with these pronouns and prefixes, but suffixes don't seem to be y'all's forte. But y'all, we're talking about the vocal minority here. I know there's gay, queer, trans, whatever people that are mad cool. They don't even abide by this bullshit, you know? But I'm talking to y'all, the vocal minority that get triggered by everything that hopefully have already clicked off of this video. You know, it's like, I'm not afraid of you. Because I didn't guess one of the 8 billion pronouns that exist now that were made up within the last 4 years, I am not phobic. Phobic, phobia, fear of. I am not fat phobic. I am not transphobic. I am not homophobic. Now, arachnophobia, that makes a little bit of sense because those things are creepy. You know what I'm saying? But like, I'm not afraid of you. I'm not afraid of spiders either. So why is it that automatically when someone doesn't get down with your thing that was made up in the last 4 years, you all of a sudden have the right to attribute something to me now? You see the game that y'all are playing? But we're going to get into that in a moment. So with all that being said, y'all can see the energy that's going to be in this video because we live in a world now that you can't talk about this type of stuff because it gets automatically labeled as hate speech. I'm just showing my ignorance. I'm trying to learn. And that's the problem with me trying to learn and semi-understand this shit. It's like this video will probably get flagged for hate speech and all this type of stuff when I'm literally just reading things off the sheet. So let's get into that. I got into Google. I typed in list of pronouns. And you know, like how when Google pops up and there's like the people also ask and there's like the little drop downs for like the quick and easy answers. So what are the 78 gender pronouns? 78 genders. Okay, we're going to get into it. What are the 21 pronouns? What are the 23 pronouns? Can you give me a list of pronouns? So I go ahead and click on what are the 78 gender pronouns. I click on this and I am confused in the first two that I see. For he and she. How are those in the same thing? Gender neutral pronouns and how to use them. He/she. We have Z, Z-I-E. And then in the second one, we have S-I-E. So how do you differentiate those in spoken language? How do you know which one I'm talking about? Once again, I'm new to this world. I'm learning a new language because half of this shit is kind of like learning like in Spanish class with the yo tu, usted, vosotros, nosotros, ustedes type stuff. It's like, that's where we're at with this. This is literally a whole new language and you're mad that I can't speak it. Because, you know, let's go ahead. This is something I was going to say for later on. I might circle back to it. But we are now in the position now, because like how I related this to learning a new language. That's like the equivalent of me going over to Mexico and I get mad at the person in that community that's speaking Spanish and I get mad at them because they don't speak English. You were in Mexico, you're born and raised in Mexico, but I have the right to get mad at you because you're not speaking my language? You're in that community. So when you have all these different things, ladies and gentlemen, oh wait, that's offensive nowadays. Everybody non-binary. Oh wait, I didn't talk about the peers community. Oh, I didn't talk about the. You see what I'm saying? It's impossible to encapsulate all of y'all. So all of you individuals that inhabit the LGBTQ plus community, and we're gonna talk about that in a second. It's like that's your community. That's your world. Y'all are making up these different ways to articulate yourselves, to communicate with amongst yourselves. That's the equivalent. Y'all are Mexico, Spain, France, whatever. That's your world. And then I'm just kind of here. So why can't we just cohabitate? Oh, wait, because y'all live in this world that you get automatically triggered if someone says the wrong thing. I know there's gay people that are cool with this. I know there's trans people that are cool with this shit. We're talking about y'all. Annoying people that just do some random stuff to victimize yourself. We're going to talk about all this type of stuff. The thoughts are just flowing. But anyway, let's get to this list and I'll get back a little bit more organized. So for he, she, Z, Z, A, V, T, and then just a capital letter E. Okay. Him, her, Zim, Z, M, Ver, Ter, M. Like E, the capital letter E, M. His, her, Zer. This is another one. Her. H-I-R. Not H-E-R. That's different somehow. Okay. E-I-R. This. Tem. Ear. I have never heard anyone use these terms before. His, hers. Zis. Hers. Ears, I guess. Vers. Ters. Ears. Himself, herself. Z self. Herself. Ear self. Ver self. Ter self. M self. How is someone supposed to know all of this? For 27 years, I guess back in my day, there were 2 genders and all this type of stuff. But like, how is it that you expect someone that's been doing something for 27 years, me, there's only been him, her, he, she, cut and dry. And maybe for a drag queen or a transgender individual, whatever, we call them queen. Yes, queen. Okay, whatever. We can get down with that. So I go further. In my path to educate myself, I'm just getting more and more frustrated, because then I go on to this graphic that's provided by the Gender Pronouns LGBTQ Plus Resource Center, provided by the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee. All right, we got, once again, the F is in parentheses. So is that supposed to discriminate between women or something with the female or whatever? Once again, there's no context, so I don't know. And somehow I'm supposed to know this, and you get triggered if I don't know this somehow, that you made this up 4 years ago. Anyway, so we got, I'm just going to pronounce it without the F because it's in the parentheses. So we got A-E, A-E-R, airs, air, self. Then we got E/EY. We already got differentiations on what you're supposed to, E-E-Y, M, ears, and here. You all get the picture, right? And then I'm going to go down a little bit further. This is the one I found very interesting. We got XE, so they all start with X's. So XE, Z, Zim, XYR, so Zyre, Zir, whatever, XYRS, Zirs, Zim, Self. Now, I find it very interesting that we have to go through all of this distinguishing and like dissecting every little way that you identify this week, this month, because then we got gender fluid. We got people that change their genders based off what they are. I'm more masculine today. I'm more feminine today. Cool, whatever. I'm not here to argue this. Whatever. However you feel in your body is how you feel. But like, then we got zms, but then we're going back to nature with that, because then we have chromosomes, X and X chromosomes and X and Y chromosomes. And then now we have identifications where you're trying to do this. I'm assuming that X means you're non-binary. I could just be completely wrong on that. But it's like it means non-binary or fluid or something that just says you're not one or the other. But then you use the same things that make you one or the other. X and X chromosomes, X and Y chromosomes. That's just basic science that even my hippy-dippy ass even agrees with. You know, it's just like, it's just crazy. Like I said before, this is insane. Now, if this is how y'all communicate in your community, then that's cool. Like I said, it's like going down to Mexico and me getting mad that that guy doesn't speak English. You don't speak my language. You didn't identify me by the proper pronouns. Okay, just like how I don't walk into churches and I don't do this thing because I don't believe in the Catholic faith or whatever. I don't roll out, and once again, I don't know if there's a proper word for it, but like, you know, I don't roll out my rug or carpet, get down on my knees and pray towards Mecca, because that's not my religious belief. That's a way that they get down. You know, Hindi people speak in their way and they have all their different pronouns. Are you Hindi phobic? Because you don't know all the pronouns that they use to identify them. Oh, it's different. You're just doing this. No, I'm not. You are part of the LGBTQ plus brigade. First of all, acronyms are supposed to make things shorter. And then we got LGBTQ, and then we got plus signs. So now we're putting symbols in there now. You don't see how out of hand this is getting, everybody? because I can't say ladies and gentlemen, guys, being general, because putting everyone into guys, that's like neglecting women and blah, 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 blah. And I don't identify as that. So you're not talking. Oh my God. You see what I'm saying? Y'all have made it now that everything is offensive. Even if I try to get your pronouns right in the 8 billion of them that there are now, even if I try to get down with your program, I'm going to say the wrong one. Oh my God, did you just call me Z? I go by per and per. So then I ask, well, how the fuck do I not offend you? Well, you ask my pronouns, and that opens up another can of worms. So you get offended if I assume your gender. Okay, I guess I can get down with that. You want to be identified a certain type of way, and it seems like I'm being automatic. In your world, I'm purposefully not calling you what you want to be called, even though you just started identifying by that gender last week. But somehow I'm supposed to be able to read your mind like that. So I'm supposed to ask your gender. Let's flip it around. Seeing as it's okay for you to be offended by something, I will get offended if you ask me what my gender is, because I've been identifying as a man my entire life, and I'm very happy and comfortable with that. So when you come up to me and ask me what are your pronouns, I'm gonna be like, the fuck do they look like? And now I flip the game back on you based off the rules that y'all made. No, what do you think my pronouns are? What do you think they are? I don't know. I really just don't want to be offensive. That's why I asked. No, I'm asking you, what do you think my pronouns are? Please go right ahead. I mean, I guess you look like someone that identifies as a he, himself. Exactly! I have these eyes, I make observations, and based off of the education that I've been a part of for the past 27 years of my life, I am now saying, yeah, I look like a guy, so I'm probably a guy. It's like you don't walk up to a car and be like, excuse me, car, is it okay if I call you a car, or would you like to go by automobile? Like, it's crazy to me. So like, what happens then when you walk up to me and I'm offended that you asked? You had to ask what I am with my facial hair that I was born with and that naturally grew on my body. You are, with my bigger hands, generally speaking, it's like my deeper voice, my testosterone that was naturally flowing through my body. Don't I have the right to be offended if you ask me what I am? You see what I'm saying? But I'm sure there's some next level of this LGBTQ pronoun game that you'll say that, blah, 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 and no, I'm offended that you had to ask me my gender. Now what? You're offended. So should I go try to cancel you now? So you feel like a victim. You made yourself a victim. And then when someone doesn't identify you with one of the million pronouns, you then go try to silence that individual. And that's okay with this cancel culture. That's now okay. So you don't like the way I treat it, so you go try to destroy my entire life because of a pronoun that hasn't even been in existence for the past decade. And that's fair in your world. I saw a video, once again, it's the internet, but like some individual, because I don't want to be offensive, some individual was crying and bitching and complaining, once again, not just identifying that they are just making themselves a victim, that they didn't get a job because they corrected someone on their pronouns. When he called me such and such, when he called you something, wait a minute. But anyway, we're not gonna split hairs here. When he called me a such and such, that just irritated me on a different level, and I corrected him. I yelled, and I saw this video. I yelled at him in the middle of an interview about using the correct pronouns, and then you called him anti-something phobic, whatever, because you didn't get the job. So we're just going to ignore the fact that you yelled at somebody in a job interview. You are coming into the job. They are interviewing to see if you will be a great fit for the company. and you yelled at someone. You went into a very unprofessional state and you expected them to hire you. And then you blame it because you blame it on your pronouns and you call them whatever, phobic or whatever. Speaking of that phobia word, because this kind of goes hand in hand somehow, now we're fat shaming and you're fat phobic. So I'm supposed to condone your clogged arteries. I'm supposed to condone the fact that you are hyperventilating just by standing up, because you are very unhealthy and you are at higher risk of health, like weight related issues. If I point that out, I'm fat shaming. I'm not shaming you. I'm saying that your heart is working 8 times harder than somebody else, which puts you at higher risk of heart disease. But me pointing that out is crazy. When any man has a criticism, and there are apparently with this chart, there still is he, him, his, himself, and she, her. So I'm still using the University of Wisconsin information provided to me. Him and hers still exist. So when I'm talking to someone that identifies as a woman and I have criticisms of them, automatically I'm now misogynistic. But yet the woman can say anything to me and that's okay. This is the world that we live in, people. We live in a world where everyone is so scared to offend that now we just let things go. And then when you let things go, now things are out of hand. And now that things got so out of hand, there's so many genders and now everyone's triggered. But then you also can't correct it or bring up a conversation about it because you're talking about it. But then by talking about it, we can get to the root of the problem. But you called it a problem. So then now I'm triggered. And then because you're triggered, I can't talk about it anymore. And because you got triggered and offended by something that you made up a couple of weeks ago, then I can get canceled. My life could get ruined. But then if I bring that up again, then it gets to the point that you cancel me, you silenced me, and I have nothing to lose. So now I can talk freely now. But then if I speak freely about it, then I'm still transgender, queer, phobic. So at the end of the day, I still lose, but you made up the rules. But then even in the LGBTQ community, y'all still let this slip out oftentimes where you call somebody her or him or they, she, they, whatever. You use the wrong one. So do you get canceled even if you're part of the LGBT community? Oh, wait, I'm gay, so I can make mistakes like that. Wait, so now there's different treatment. Wait, but isn't that the whole problem? You see what I'm saying? It makes no sense. I can't wait to see the love on this one that I get. You know, we as a part of the LGBT community are very inclusive and loving of everyone. Unless you don't follow the fucking rules. I don't know, man. This is just crazy. It's like I can't wait for this video to get flagged with hate speech, even though I'm just speaking my opinion on someone that identifies as he, him, his, himself. So with my identifications, and those just get thrown out the window because I don't get down with these new ones that popped up out of nowhere that I don't understand. To the next one, y'all.